Come on. There we go. Now we're recording. How's everybody doing today? Yeah, this microphone's not doing what I want it to do, but that's okay. We'll just hold it in place instead of let it sit on the floor properly. Anyway, so this is the next movie we're talking about is Chips from 2017. American buddy cop action comedy. Written, directed by, we don't want to talk about that. Written and directed by the same person, Dax Shepard. It was based on the 1977 and through 1983 television series by the same name, which is pretty good. This is basically two guys on a motorcycle running around being stupid is pretty much what it is. But Poncherello was brought in from the FBI because he was shooting his partner and doing all kinds of things to solve this robbery murder spree from TJ, with TJ at the lead there in California and LA. So they were on motorcycles running around trying to solve this thing, and my computer's doing strange things. It's resetting its taskbar. I don't know, it's an old one. I think that one's from 2006. The other one's from 2012, so, I'm getting my use out of them. But anyway, they were riding around the highways. The new cop, the new one was an ex-motorcycle racer, and he could run. He liked racing motorcycles, so he was pretty good riding a motorcycle. Had to be a cop, but that's, he got in there. Then, for the first part of the show, the young cop was trying to run around, or the new cop was trying to run around giving tickets. Because he had to get tickets and have good conduct to stay in the force, at least that's what they were told. The ladies told him when he got out, and there is a little bit of conflict here. But, politics involved in this, so just be aware of that when you go to watch it. Lots of politics involved. So the FBI, they were trying to find out who was doing the robberies, and they suspected it to be cops. So, and they made a character in another police department called Asian Bob. And, there was an Asian Bob already there, but he had to be hella Asian to be a cop. So the FBI made him a cop. And then Poncherello was into girls big time because they were wearing them workout pants with banana grundles with a seam. Drove him nuts. He was going to the bathroom 3 or 4 times a day to take care of business, paint the walls, go blind, whatever you want to say. I'm trying to keep this side PG. The other channel, I don't really care. But they did a pretty good job. They had a guy jump out of a helicopter because he wanted to save his buddy, his boyfriend, on the ground. These guys is the one that died. They were blowing up cars and taking the money and getting away on Ducatis, Supermoto Ducatis, which is a pretty good movie. Lots of action running around. About halfway through the film, the buddy cops, the Chips, they got their own Ducatis, and they were chasing the guys with Ducatis. They tried to go through Elysian Park with the police issue motorcycles, and Poncherello crashed, and the other one kept going. Baker kept going through the park because he could ride a motorcycle, and Poncherello wasn't very good at it because it was basically, he started on a motorcycle right there on the spot. It was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. Poncherello just about got run over by a truck. Bike got crashed, smashed up, but he got saved, and then Baker had problems getting out of the tub in his ex-wife's house, and she got the house in a divorce, and he was living in the back room until she sold it on him. But Poncherello had to go help Baker to the tub because it was raining and he couldn't walk because he had so many bones and stuff broke, which was kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of funny. They had penile face impact in there. That was kind of interesting. You should go watch that. It's funny. Meanwhile, the ex-wife is giving swimming lessons to her new boyfriend. She sold the house to be with. She sold her $8 million house for just to get back at the husband, which is kind of interesting there too. I need to wet my whistle. Much better. Maybe I can talk for the rest of this thing. Anyway, so they ended up figuring out, who TJ, LT and TJ is. And they figured out who it was. It happened to be Frogs in the Throat again. Frogs in the Throat again. I can't even talk right now. Too bad I'm not hooked up, but the computer that would do that, make all that sounds for me is busy rendering other videos because, I'm falling behind here, so I got to get ahead. Way ahead. I think this is a good spot for that computer, maybe. Make a little top, hard to get into my smoke cooler, but it does get hot, but we'll deal with that later. Anyway, so they end up figuring it out, and then once they do figure it out, after Poncherello and Baker get out of the hospital because they were shot and run over and all that stuff, they end up going to LG's house. They jump a fence with both bikes. One of them ends up in a ditch. I'm not telling you which one. Then they end up blowing up a bunch of frames. They end up shooting because one of them can't shoot. The other one gets his fingers chopped off. It was all kinds of fun. Interesting, keep you entertained all the time, and I don't know why people didn't like this movie. I liked it, but I liked the CHP series too when I was younger. That probably had a lot to do with it. It made it for the wrong generation. Anyway, so they in the end they end up getting the guy. They shot him twice. He gets arrested, all that fun stuff, because he's bigger than they are. They were trying to smuggle, somewhere in the movie they were trying to smuggle all the money through paintings across the border, then resell the paintings and live someplace else with the whole family that was involved in all the cops that were involved in the movie, in the stealing of robbing armor trucks, using frames to blow a hole in the back door so they can get and take all the money and kill the guards that were in there. And they used dump trucks to rob it. They did all kinds of stuff. And the bikes they were using were Ducati Super Motar 939s, which was probably the debut of those motorcycles too. People are still running them. And they got actual Harley motors in them. And something's going nuts here. I'm getting messages. Beep, ding, beep, ding, beep, ding, beep, ding. That gets annoying after a while, especially when you try to do something. But that's okay. So overall, I liked the movie. It was a pretty good movie, but I seem to be liking the movies that didn't do very good at the box office. So this one here was Warner Brothers Pictures. It was more of a comedy, buddy cop comedy. It was released on March 20th, 2017. Chinese Man Theater, they were in LA. Then it was released March 24th, 2017 throughout the United States. It runs 101 minutes long. It was made in the United States. It's English, and they spent $25 million making it. Yeah, that was pretty good amount of money. I wish they could spend $25 million. I wouldn't make a movie with it, I'll tell you that. But then the box office, they made $26.8 million. They made a profit. Not much of a one, but they made a profit on the thing, so they can live to do another movie if they did it. Anyway, so it was pretty good. I highly recommend you let everybody else watch it. Watch it with everybody else. That would turn out to be a pretty good movie. I liked it. So take care, be safe, and we'll talk to you on the next movie review. Or the next hiking view, who knows. Bye now.